Hey everybody. A few days ago, Xiaonan did a stream on his channel, ThePortraitArt, and unfortunately I couldn't join, but I decided to draw the same reference image. So this is what it came out to be. And I've made a little bit of a different video with commentary. Took me a long time to make, so hope you like. And if you enjoyed, please leave a like. Well, let's go. Bye bye. So yeah, I start with in this case a circle. That could be considered the Loomis method. It's not completely that, because I modified it a little bit. I don't do all the lines that are described by that method, but now I go for the eyebrow line. That's the horizontal line across the surface of that sphere, and perpendicular to that is the vertical line that would be the center line of the face. And now I'm looking for, next I'm looking for the placement of the bottom of the nose. So I'm looking for thirds. Oh no, wait, first I draw the plane change lines. The plane changes from the front of the face to the side of the face. And there is the placement of the nose. So I got 1/3 of the face. Go to the next one. Make sure it's actually 1/3. But in the reference, by the way, the lower third is a little bit bigger because she is looking up, and then it tends to foreshorten the higher parts of the thirds. So that's the upper third. And now I'm going for the glabella. So that's the part between the eyes and the bridge of the nose, and from that I draw the line on which the eyes are situated. That's usually the 1/2 of the vertical length of the face, the whole head, I mean. Okay, I'll continue with the eyebrow here. As you can see, I just jump around from place to place. I don't really have a structure to drawing. I always jump around from one place to the other. So there's a little bit of indication of eyebrows, and now I can place the nose, the nostrils, which are on that line, those two vertical lines. There I go with the tip of the nose. That's generally a sphere, so I just draw a sphere there. And the side of the nose, that's from the nostril to the place I drew before, the glabella. And this will be a general shape of the left eye. And left, from our point of view, of course, is her right eye. And I do this all in a very soft willow charcoal, or fine charcoal, it's sometimes called. And the good thing about that is very, very forgiving. If you make mistakes, you just wipe it away, just like I do right there. Yeah, there I define a little bit of the shape of the forehead. It's very indicative of the likeness of a person. And a benefit of drawing in this style is that you get a very early sense of whether you're correct, whether your drawing is going somewhere, because well, you're drawing all the shadow shapes, and those shapes form an image inside your imagination, I guess. But you can see very early on if there's a likeness or not. So here I draw a general shape of the mouth before I made sure that it was on the correct spot. So, there. You can see the right eye. I make sure that the eye is on the same horizontal line, the line that I drew before. And I also make sure that the eyes are equal in width. Well, not exactly equal, because she is turned a little bit to the side with her face, and that foreshortens the left side of the left eye from our point of view. Okay, well, the corner of the mouth is usually a very important reference point in drawing face. From that corner of the mouth you can draw lines in your imagination. You can imagine lines to other points, like the corner of the eye or the nostril, and then you can compare the angle of the lines to the reference image. That's how you create correct proportions. Alright, yeah, here I am drawing in more and more of the shadow shapes. And as you can see, the video is starting to speed up now, because, well, it's more of the same that I do. I just fill in the shapes as I see them, because the first part of the drawing, when you lay down the foundation, I guess, or you start with the reference lines, those are the critical it's a critical moment in drawing the portrait, because, well, everything really depends on it. Of course you can correct it later, but that's usually a hassle, and I'm not very good in recognizing my mistakes in an early stage, so no. Very often when I finish my drawing, I think I have finished my drawing, and I go back and I look at it, and I realize that the position of one eye or something is way off, and then I have to live with it or correct it. And that's usually not a fun thing to do, especially if you think that feature is come out particularly good. Yeah, here I use my brush. That's when all the shapes come together. Now you can see very vague image of that portrait, and then I go over it again with vine charcoal, and like a second pass, and with each pass the drawing gets more and more refined. But later on in this drawing I decided to go with compressed charcoal, because the reference image was, well, calling for it, I felt. Because of the very dark complexion of her hair and her eyes. And I thought, well, let's just go with pure black. Yes, as you can see, I just draw over the parts that I drew before, but and later on I will brush it in again, and that way you get a good foundation from which you can also pull out highlights with your eraser, and that's what I'll do next, I think. Maybe I'll take one more pass. No, there you go with the eraser. Yeah. If you draw the highlights in the early stage, like in this stage, you can feel very early on where the drawing is going. There I come in with the pencil, compressed charcoal. First of all, of this phase, I just draw the features, and then later I draw in more and more of the shadow shapes. Now you can see it's mostly just lines I draw. But I don't draw them like lines. I try to keep away from lines and try to just draw the shapes more, and create an illusion of line when you have two values that touch each other, two different values on the border of those, but they tend to create an illusion of a line when in fact there is not a line. It's just perceived as a line. Okay, here I draw a general shape of the hair. And later on I will fill it in with a block of compressed charcoal. And while I'm drawing, I just make corrections as I go, constantly looking at the reference and thinking, comparing lines and angles. So what I do here is just look at the reference, and when I see something darker than I have on my drawing, I draw it in. And by the way, on the dark side of her face, the light spots that appear light, like the eye whites, are in fact not as light as you perceive them. So later on I go back and I darken up that white of the eye. There you go. Darken it up. Because if you don't, it doesn't feel right. The complete form of the face, which is generally just a sphere, if you see it in the most basic form, it should come across as one shape. So on one side there would be shadow, just like a sphere, and the other side is the light side. So you don't want a very bright spot in the shadow side of that sphere. That would be wrong. Yeah, here I fill in the hair with a block of compressed charcoal, and I later on I just here with my finger I smudge it out. I push it into the paper. It becomes really black, and I try not to have the white of the paper come through. And then I go back to the face again, and just like I told you before, I don't really have a method to it. I just jump around from place to place. That's just how I work. I'm not really organized, I guess. Okay, redefining the highlights with my kneaded eraser. And now redefining the darks again. And it's really just that. It's once you have the likeness, once you have the general structure of the face, then you go back and forth with redefining and a little bit of blending and brushing, and then redefining again, and comparing, of course, again with the reference image, make correction as I see fit. Redefining the nose, that's just really what it is. And with redefining, I mean looking where something could be more precise in form, or could be more dark in value, or lighter in where it needs more highlights. That's what I do there. And, right now I see that I didn't define the mouth yet. And I think I'll do that next. Yeah, it takes a little while. The eyelashes, of course. Those are usually one of the latest things I add to an eye, the eyelashes, because you really want those to be crisp. And if I had to go over it again with blending or with a brush, then I would have to redefine them again. There we go, defining the mouth more. Usually the corner of the mouth is quite dark. Yeah, here I just go with the blending stump and add more value, and later on I will add some highlights on the there I go, highlights. And the wet spots of the lips usually are very glossy in the highlights. Yeah, I add in some value on the neck, because it's very important to have there some value to have the face come out more. It creates an illusion of depth or three-dimensionality if you add more value around the face. And that's what the dark hair will do for me here in this portrait. And yeah, the value in the neck, of course, also. Now I just go with very flowing lines. I draw the hair. Try to keep your arm as loose as possible when doing that. This is just a little indication of a shoulder. It's not really that good, but it doesn't really matter. It's the face that I'm concerned about. And one more pass with highlights. done. I just add some more detail to the hair, and blending in a little bit more. And the next thing I will do is just add my signature, I think, and then it might be done. This drawing. Yeah, it was fun to make this one. I hope you enjoyed my my story in this drawing, and I hope to make more of these drawings in the future if you like them. So please let me know if you like these kind of drawings, and with my commentary, and I will know if it's worth to make more of them. So, and you could also like the video, and if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and bye bye.